In the grand silent theater of the cosmos, humanity occupies a single fragile stage. We gaze out at the countless points of light, each a potential sun nurturing its own worlds, and ask the most profound of questions. Are we alone? And if we are not, how would we even begin to comprehend a civilization that might be millions or even billions of years our senior? We search for signals, for signs of life, but we are looking through a pinhole. To truly grasp the potential scale of life in the universe, we need a different kind of tool, a cosmic yardstick to measure not just existence, but consequence. In 1964, the Soviet astrophysicist Nikolai Kardashev proposed just such a metric, a framework so elegant and powerful that it continues to shape our search for extraterrestrial intelligence and our understanding of our own future. This is the Kardashev Scale, a civilization's power ranking. At its heart, the Kardashev Scale is breathtakingly simple. It sidesteps the unknowable details of alien biology, culture, and politics, and focuses on the one thing that any technological society must, by the laws of physics, command: energy. All work, from lifting a rock to computing a thought to traversing the stars, requires energy. Therefore, Kardashev reasoned, a civilization's level of technological advancement would be directly proportional to the amount of energy it could harness and control. He proposed a classification system with 3 initial tiers, each representing a quantum leap in power and engineering capability. The first step on this cosmic ladder is a Type 1 civilization, also known as a planetary civilization. This is a society that has achieved complete mastery over its home world. It can harness all the energy that reaches its planet from its parent star. For Earth, this amounts to a staggering amount of power, roughly 100,000 times our current global energy consumption. A Type 1 civilization would not be limited by the whims of fossil fuels or the intermittent nature of wind and solar as we know them. It would command the planet's energy budget in its entirety. This could manifest as perfect weather control, turning deserts into gardens and deflecting hurricanes at will. They might build global energy grids of unimaginable efficiency, tap directly into the heat of the planet's core, and manage the biosphere with the precision of a master gardener. To us, their capabilities would seem almost magical, yet they would still be confined to their cradle world. They are the masters of their own house, but have not yet ventured to build in the neighborhood. By this measure, humanity is not yet on the scale. The physicist Carl Sagan calculated our current standing at roughly Type 0.7. We are a fledgling civilization, still squabbling over the limited dregs of our planet's stored energy, polluting our own nest in the process. The transition from a Type 0 to a Type 1 civilization may be one of the most perilous stages for any intelligent species. It requires a level of global cooperation, long-term planning, and technological prowess that we have yet to achieve. It represents the successful navigation of adolescence, overcoming the self-destructive tendencies of a species that has discovered great power, but not yet the wisdom to wield it. Should a civilization survive this trial, it might one day aspire to become a Type 2 civilization, a stellar civilization. The energy jump from Type 1 to Type 2 is monumental, a factor of about 10 billion. A Type 2 civilization is no longer content with the fraction of energy that falls upon its home planet. It harnesses the total energy output of its parent star. The most famous theoretical construct for achieving this is the Dyson Sphere, a megastructure that would partly or completely enclose a star to capture every last watt of its power. This would not likely be a solid shell, as often depicted in fiction, but a vast swarm of orbiting habitats and solar collectors working in concert. The capabilities of a Type 2 civilization are difficult for us to truly fathom. With the power of an entire star at their command, they would be immune to any natural catastrophe their solar system could produce. An incoming asteroid would be a triviality to vaporize or redirect. They could move planets from one orbit to another, perhaps creating vast new habitable zones. Interstellar travel, a dream for us, would become a practical reality for them. They would be the undisputed masters of their solar system, their engineering projects visible across interstellar distances. Indeed, the search for such stellar-scale engineering, which would glow brightly in the infrared spectrum as waste heat, is one of the most compelling avenues in the modern search for extraterrestrial intelligence. They would not need to send us a message. Their very existence would be the message. The final tier of Kardashev's original scale is the Type 3 civilization, the Galactic civilization. This entity harnesses the energy output of its entire galaxy. The power they would wield is, to our minds, indistinguishable from divinity. They would command the energy of billions of stars, perhaps by deploying Dyson swarms around a significant fraction of them. They might even tap into the colossal energies released by the supermassive black hole at the galactic core. Their reach would span 100,000 light years, and they could likely manipulate the very structure of space-time, utilizing wormholes or other exotic forms of travel. What would such a civilization look like? They may not even be biological in any sense we would recognize, having perhaps transcended the frailties of flesh and blood to become beings of pure energy or information, living in a computational matrix the size of a galaxy. Their motivations, their art, their science would be utterly beyond our comprehension. They would be to us as we are to a single bacterium in a drop of water. They are the silent, unseen gods of the cosmos, their existence a possibility that both inspires and terrifies. The Kardashev Scale is not without its critics or its necessary extensions. Some have proposed a Type 4 civilization that harnesses the power of an entire universe, and a Type 5 that controls a multiverse, though these concepts are purely speculative. A more grounded critique is that the scale is a blunt instrument, measuring only raw power consumption. An advanced civilization might instead prize efficiency, achieving incredible feats with minimal energy expenditure. Others argue that the drive for endless expansion is a primitive, human-centric projection. Perhaps the ultimate goal of intelligence is not to pave the galaxy, but to explore inner space, creating infinitely complex virtual realities that require only the power of a single star or less. A civilization might choose to be quiet, to observe the cosmos without interfering, making them invisible to our search. Yet the true power of the Kardashev Scale lies not in its accuracy as a tool for classifying aliens, but in its function as a mirror for humanity. It provides a roadmap, a sense of direction, and a profound sense of humility. It tells us that our current global crises, climate change, resource scarcity, political division, are not merely geopolitical problems. They are the great filter, the entry exam for becoming a Type 1 civilization. We must learn to act as a unified planetary species, to manage our energy and our environment with wisdom, or we will fail the test. The scale forces us to think on timescales that dwarf human history, to consider a future where our descendants might paint on a canvas of planets and stars. It reframes our place in the universe from the pinnacle of creation to cosmic infants, just beginning to take our first stumbling steps. In the vast, dark expanse, the Kardashev Scale is a ladder of light, showing us what we might one day become. The journey from Type 0 to Type 1, 2, and beyond is the ultimate story of intelligence, a narrative of survival, growth, and the seemingly limitless potential of a mind to comprehend and shape the universe it inhabits. It is the story we are only just beginning to write for ourselves.